So I'm just down here with a friend who I met at the Roma protests. And so there was a very small group of people who were here to talk about the new trespassing law. And I was wondering if you could tell me something about what you've found out about the trespassing law and how it might affect people who are from a Roma background.
From a Gypsy, Roma and traveller background myself, and looking to get back on the road as soon as I can, because my mental health in a house has gone down over the last 10 years. The bill will basically annihilate our way of life completely, because it's on the stop roadside camps, so stopping literally at the edge of a road with a horse, with a caravan, with your car, with your caravan. It will stop that.
So is that currently legal?
At the moment, I believe it is legal, because we don't actually get stopped from stopping at the edge of the road. There are the people that will say, "Oh, but you're trespassing." You're not. It's not being used. Who's using that bit of grass?
I guess technically
wild?
It's Queen's Highway, isn't it? Right?
Yeah. Or Scottish Highway if you're in Scotland.
Yeah.
Who's using that bit of long, ragged grass at the side of the road? No one. Why not let the horse eat it between days of travel?
So the law that they're trying to put through at the moment, I believe, is going to criminalise that, whereas before trespass was a civil.
Yeah, at the moment it is currently a civil offence. The police will not really get involved. It's down to the local council to basically ask you to move. And if they don't, then they can get an injunction to have you removed by bailiffs. But that takes time.
Yeah. Okay. So like there's quite a lot of, I don't know if you know any statistics about Roma in Britain, how many people there are roughly?
I don't, I'm afraid.
But I mean, you're part of a Roma community. You said you no longer live the lifestyle, as it were. But
yeah, I currently don't live the lifestyle. But
is that because it was made difficult for you, or lack of opportunity, or like what?
It was made difficult for the family. My mum got some health conditions, and it's no longer really viable for her. But she's happily settled in a house. I can't live that way personally, and just need to get back to the way of life that I grew up with.
So, like when you were growing up that way, were you with quite a big community of people?
No, it was, you sort of really stay in your family groups unless you're going to a fair like Appleby, which is where you'll meet up with friends, sell horses, buy new horses.
So I mean, because it seems kind of like I mean, it seems bizarre to me that this sort of way of life still exists. I mean, I'm sort of aware of like traveller encampments, of people who live in caravans, and like, you know, sort of driven motorhomes, that sort of thing. But so there are still people who are actually using
there are still people
horse and
that
caravan,
use horse and wagon, the bow tops, the square tops, the Reading wagons. It always annoys me when I see one in a person's garden.
I've got a friend who's got one in the garden.
There's one down the road.
I think she's renting out as an Airbnb.
Okay, that's not quite so bad because it's being used, but it's just when they're ornaments that really annoys me. Because you can guarantee people with them as ornaments purely have them to spite people.
Yeah.
They're also the ones that predominantly vote Tory.
Yeah.
So they're the ones trying to eradicate the way of life.
So what, I mean, it's very sort of strange, but there's been this very long sort of, prejudice against Roma people. And what do you put that down to? Like, do you think it's a misunderstanding, or is it, I mean, why do you think people are so against the Romany way of living?
To be honest, I don't know. We've had the prejudice since we arrived in this country, and we've been here since the medieval times, and we've had the prejudice ever since then.
And you get that on a daily basis, do you?
Daily
say?
basis, all through. I did do some school.
Mhm.
I did some secondary school. One of the worst bits of bullying I had at secondary school was my shoes were flushed down a toilet.
And this was because of your ethnicity,
Yeah, just because I
basically?
was traveller.
Yeah, I mean that's.
In their eyes, I was dirty. My shoes needed a wash.
I mean that seems like a very cruel thing to do. And do you think that there's like, do you feel like still that like there's not enough support for Roma people in the general community? Because obviously now, like, you know, like Black and Asian people have got the sort of, you know, support of big campaigns and so on. Do you feel like
we
Romas
don't
have been?
have as much sort of. We're always thought to be sort of frowned upon. Yeah. I've been watching the security guards watching me that have been stood at the entrance for the last, well, the whole time we've been here. They've watched me get out of my car and watched me come up here. I'm used to it now. So you just get the sense that you're not welcome anywhere, when surely we should now be welcome more than anyone else, because our culture is the oldest culture in Britain.
Wow, yeah. All this continuous sort of like
Yeah,
cultural
we have
transmission.
been here since the medieval times.
Yeah.
For example, the Queen, she's not even English. Her family is German.
Yeah.
So surely
You got more right to
we've
be
got
here than
more
her.
right to be here. I'm not saying I don't agree with the Queen,
Yeah.
but surely if her family status can have more right to be here than ours, why is that?
Doesn't seem very logical. And what was I going to ask? So, what are your concerns about this new bill and how it will affect people that you know of?
It'll affect everyone, to be honest, but it'll affect us because they'll just be able to break down our door in the middle of the night, turf us out and take our home, whack us in prison. I think it was for 3 months, if not more, and give us a £2,500 fine.
And that's just for parking at the side of the
Just
road
for
in a way that
parking
you've
at the
been
side
doing for
of the
centuries.
road. In the normal places we've parked for centuries, they've been taking the land that we've used for centuries just by putting boulders at the sides of roads, putting fences up. So people are pinching the land from everyone who want to use it. We might just want to stop there for a week, if that. So why shouldn't we be allowed to live our way of life when you can live yours?
Stop there.